Peace to the God.
Peace, peace. How you doing?
What up, my lord? I'm good, man.
Good to hear. Yo, I forget we had your buddy on the show, plays the pool. I forgot his name.
You talking about Ra
Yeah,
Hammer?
he made this, right? Beat? Did you
Yeah,
say
he made that beat.
Yeah, so we did that. This was a dope bill we had. See, this brother uses billiards to get to help the kids and help the youth and a lot of positive things, man. And so it was a great conversation. I fucked up his name, but yeah, he did this beat. Somebody asked who did the beat for this. So
yeah, man, he's multi-talented, dog. He does a little bit of everything, you know.
Yeah.
But he did most of that Dark Sun project. He did 50%. I say 40% of the Dark Sun Riders project. He did tracks for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no doubt.
Dope. So everybody, this is episode
line.
5. Constant Elevation. Brother Jay, X-Clan, Flatbush, Brooklyn, Blackwatch, and myself, Tamal, Carrying the Culture. And so that's our little platform. So we do this monthly build, hip-hop, culture, life in general, and just, we try to share some stuff that hopefully you can take with you. And say take what you want and leave the rest. I mean, but hopefully you can get something out of these conversations. And all of our builds are on our YouTube channel, on the Carrying the Culture YouTube channel, and on available via podcast too. So wherever you get your podcasts and stuff like that.
No doubt. Big up to everybody joining us as well, my lord.
Of course.
I just want to salute everybody because the things be moving so fast. I don't get a chance to salute.
Right.
And we start building and cooking and shit, and the thing is over and shit. You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna blink in a minute. It's gonna be like we were in cryo sleep, man. And all of a sudden,
exactly, fam.
It's gonna be 9 o'clock. So yeah. Salute to everybody joining in. If you have questions in such pertaining to the conversation, please use the questions feature below. We can put them up. So we're gonna get into this, man. Try to maximize our time.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So tonight's build is leadership in hip hop, and big up to my man, Save the Hip Hop Culture, who helped really come up with this topic. You and I both were drawing some blanks, and so.
Yeah,
but
it'd be so vast. We can come from anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we try to just keep it relative in the hip hop flavor and whatnot, because these are hip hop generations.
Right.
So, we try to keep it in that flavor. It would be wild for us to come just talk about sports or, some way left or political shit and whatnot. Everybody got their sensitive opinions, but we know hip hop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We are the elements, you know what I'm saying? So we can relate with others in that way, man. So,
right.
I feel good. I feel good with the topics that we come up with. The Creator always bless us last minute with something good to build on. Man.
Always,
but
right?
I like this topic, man.
No. So here's where I wanted to go with it, right?
All right.
Here's where I wanted to go. Hold on for a second. We're not taking requests to go live. Just to let everybody know. So there was a couple in there, so we're not doing that. This is a structured conversation. So please feel free to share and add on and stuff like that. But that's it's got to flow here. So the leadership in hip hop. So this is kind of where I wanted to go. Like, three areas, like almost like Christmas, past, future, present, future. Like what did it look like? If did it ever exist in your eyes and stuff? We can talk about that. And then how and when did it fail? And takes us up to now. What's it look like now? Is there any leadership in hip hop? And then kind of maybe laying the blueprint for the future based on some of the things we've talked about in prior shows.
All right.
So
all right. I mean, I'll let you tip it off, man. I mean,
right.
I have my opinion on it, but
oh well, yeah. Well, I'll get it going. I'll throw the first pitch. So, I'll just ask you straightforward. So, because this is important. Look, because here's the thing, you and I, what we've seen in almost every show. You're a 30, 40 plus year veteran artist in this.
Right.
Coming from a particular perspective, I'm a fan and a participant in 3 out of the 4 of the elements for 30 plus years, but I have a different angle. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so we're always going to have a slightly different angle. So and we meet somewhere in the middle. So leadership in hip hop in your eyes, let's go back, to as far as just maybe, when you were X-Clan was starting out or whatever, like this, did you see to me, I felt like I saw it as a fan. Like, I don't know if it was a fictional thing or not, but as a young kid, I felt like at a time, Africa Bambaataa, Karis One, Chuck D, you guys, I just felt like there were unwritten rules and unwritten things that just kind of police themselves, if you will, and it wasn't. It just kind of took care of itself. It seemed like. So maybe this was just me being a young kid, but in your eyes, has there ever really been any leadership in hip hop?
I don't. In my opinion, I don't think there's been any kind of leadership, because when you're an artist, it kind of you can't preach and bust the lyrics at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't really give you room to really drop a lesson. Everything is dropped in some kind of rhythm cadence, and you're not really allowed to speak. Most of these people that you're talking about now are more lecturers than performers now. You see a lot of KRS lectures, you see a lot of Chuck D lectures. I think from that standpoint, they can lead better than with music, because music is judging you with beats, and if your shit sounds better than someone else, when the lesson is there, all the little wordplay is bullshit. You feel me? So, there's no way for leadership to really get into hip hop. You would have to be something outside of that music. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like being a ball player. You can't go on the court and speak your piece and whatnot, but when you're off the scene, in your lifestyle, you can be more of the example or the role model. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop is drag, man. You know what I'm saying? If we at a point right now where we can't even vote in our program directors or what we really want to hear and so on, where's leadership? And what would that mean? You know what I'm saying? There's only leaders in money or leaders in styles, but the type of leadership that we need in this state of war, there's no room for that in hip hop. Even with X-Clan, we were a movement outside of music. All right. The music was used for projecting a message and enticing recruitment, but it's not a place that you hold court and build math, but so much. You know what I'm saying? So there's no room for leadership in that valve. And I think artistry kind of waters down, someone that would want to be a leader. If someone like Master Farrakhan was rhyming, I wouldn't take him as serious. You know what I'm saying? I think it kind of waters you down when you got to get into the wordplay of rap in order to hit somebody in the head with something. That's like a blessing and a curse with my experience, as a messenger in hip hop. I'm not one looking for accolades at the end of the year and all of that kind of shit, because I didn't come into it like that. But at the same time, you're limiting something into 16 bars that may be 4 pages of thought. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really get your full perspective off. You got to hope those who know kind of tap in.
Right, yeah.
So, even with Bambaataa, Bambaataa was a DJ in the Bronx who turned a gang situation into a universal Zulu situation. That's not leadership through music and whatnot. That's just an example of how to take the gang situations that are existing across the country and gave them an option of how to do it, and Cass has got, everybody want a messiah in hip hop. Hip hop is, 70% dick riding and shit, man. You make somebody that's 4 feet tall into like 20 feet tall with 4 arms and shit, the way niggas talk. So, they always kind of, put these artists and people as deities and shit, you know what I'm saying? Because of the rare opportunities that they're in. But, you got to be real deep to be someone's elder or teacher or something. You got to offer me something more than just some beats and rap shit. You know what I'm saying? So in my opinion, God, I don't think, there's been any kind of room for leadership now back in the days, there were circles of people that used to gather, like they had a movement for people wearing gold chains to take gold chains off and put on the medallions, or like beads like I have on my neck and shit like that, because so many niggas was dying. And funny enough, Bambaataa was part of that. Malachi York was part of that. Professor X was there. Paradise. Latifah was there. There were a couple people that were part of that circle. They used to meet at the Latin Quarters. This is when I was real young and before X-Clan became X-Clan. We were,
Oh, wow.
you know, it was more movement, and we were doing like security and shit for clubs and shit. It wasn't like, you know, we were #1 stars and all that other kind of shit.
Right.
So, but things like that would be leadership in hip hop, or like a self-destruction movement, that being more than just a record, that being a movement that all the artists are consistent from that point, that would be leadership. But if everybody got together, just rapped, and then went back to Uchi Wally and, you know, drop it down, lick it and fuck it, you know what I'm saying? It kind of defeats the purpose. You can't say, yeah, we ready to leave, we want everything to stop, and then you go back to being whatever it was. You got to change. You know what I'm saying? Leadership is sacrifice. So, you know, those things would have been leadership in hip hop. Now, only like 3 or 4 of those artists on those records, like a Self-Destruction or something like that, go back to the conscious, you know, they go back seamlessly to where they're from as conscious artists. But the rest of them, you know, hip hop is based on ego. My chain, my girl, my this, I'm better, my money, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Even back in our day. Mm-hmm. So, you know, there's no room for leadership when you got a braggadocious kind of attitude like that, Lord. So, right. You know, when something monumental like Self-Destruction comes, that's an invitation to change. That's saying to you, yo, I'm done with the boo-boo rap, because now cats are trying to live off the shit that I'm bragging about. They trying to reach for it. And most times, the artists don't even have it like that. but yet niggas are dying. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
That's the ignorant part of it. I mean, but continue on about this, because this was something that came up for me recently, as far as the whole Self-Destruction, Stop the Violence movement and stuff. And so this is what my friend was saying. He was saying that it seemed like, at least back in the day, quote unquote, there were messengers that were, and there was like, for a time, I mean, even if it was a fad, it was a good fad where everybody in 8th grade did have medallions, and everybody was wearing a hat, and like fight the power, like, and do the right thing, and that shit was charged. There was some charged up shit going on back then. So it was like, at least then it seemed like people who wanted to look for more than just the beats and music, they could get that and stuff. So do you know what happened to like the Stop the Violence? But like, why some of these like the Stop the Violence? You said it like as far as some of the artists, but why didn't it become even bigger? Like, was that just an idea for a song? Do you know anything about that? Like, if it was just for a song?
I mean, it spells itself out, bro. Look, you know, how could you make Stop the Violence popular when hip hop is multi-billion off of violence? Even now with the trap, you know what I'm saying? What do they call it, drill shit now, or whatever the case may be? They've just created a new level of horror rap. You know, the horrorcore rap back in the days and shit. That shit was really ridiculous. Right. But you know, it had an audience. You know what I'm saying? You listen to early 666 Mafia shit like that, man. You know, it's different where Juicy J is now, but them niggas were horrorcore at one time, if I'm not mistaken, dog.
I don't know about it. But I mean, I remember groups like the Flatliners. There was a few groups that came out that were like talking about like there's a lot of dead people shit and like some
yeah, no
wild
yeah. So you know, so there's all kinds of genres in the game, but you know, all that to say, man, these movements don't last because or these causes don't last because they don't have a movement attached. Like even when we came out with Close the Crack House, that's supposed to be like a move. So that's like even if you don't fuck with Black Watch or Black Panthers or whatever the fuck, join to the cause. If you got a aunt or uncle or something that has been suffering from crack in their life or whatever, then you can relate with us saying close the crack house. So I think the leadership in hip hop would come through causes. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, yo, we about stopping the violence right now. So that means all my lyrics for the rest of my game are gonna not have violent overtones on my shit. And that's the sacrifice of the artist participating on that record. Now the audience of that artist evolves with them. And now you have a movement. That's how powerful hip hop is. All right. If I get 5 artists that are top dog to come and get on some bars, and then they're saying, yo, I'm no longer building on the bullshit no more. There ain't gonna be no, you know, punchline bars just talking about little bullshit in my clothes and my pants and my chain. I'm gonna be on some real stop the violence. Y'all fuck with me. And then you really see where your audience is at. Okay? I see a lot of these artists now trying to go organic now, you know, whatever that is, you know, or just less off the devilry and the foolishness and the ego, and they want to get more into the reality of things. You know, I hear it in the bars. You know what I'm saying? It happens in maturity. But now if they state a cause to say, yo, man, no cursing on in hip hop no more. We not fucking with that no more. If the biggest artist said that and did that, then it's gonna spread and it's gonna be contagious. And then you have a movement now that says, look, we don't look like buffoons anymore as Black people when it's time to give us accolades. And you playing the song when the artist comes up and the song is saying, lick my ass, and you holding up this trophy, you know, it's no longer that. Okay? Now it's my lyrics have content. If you're a songwriter, dog, it's not difficult. I'm a songwriter of positive music. I know how to write hooks. I know how to put it down. So I know some of these talented and more talented composers. I know some of them are positive. I've heard the reverse of songs that they were forced to change and heard the original versions of joints. You feel me? Some of these artists that you think are so gangster and shit started off, you know, because if a nigga's building on the memories of the street, dog, that's not a violent thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's a good thing. That's like Tupac saying Dear Mama or something. You know what I'm saying? So I've heard cats with dope ass music that have had to change the hook because it wasn't violent enough. If they start the movement and you really trust your fan base, then it'll be different. It didn't work with Snoop. Snoop tried to go Snoop blind and shit. And the niggas was like, yo, man, you must be smoking too much weed. And the niggas like, yo, I want to see another part of my shit. I want to go to the nature and kind of get out of this pop life and shit. And they didn't even want to take the journey with this nigga in full. But he won awards. He won all kind of shit. But at the end of the day, it was the audience savage. They didn't want to see that as a movement to say, damn, this nigga's independent. This nigga goes out in the middle of Jamaica and makes a different album with a different tempo and shit, using his bread differently. He ain't hollering about my low rider, my bitch, my this, and all this other shit, man. He took a break. He took a detox. They didn't even give him that. And I thought that was whack. I could go on the list of artists that they've disliked that have improved their styles and their presentation, and people just shot them down. You know what I'm saying?
So people, because in the same token, I sit here and I listen. I've been listening to some artists. I bring up Billy Dance for one, who's good brother. We had him on the show a few times, and he's got the still got some of the rah shit. He's like, yo, Andy, I'll put my kids through college. But he was saying, but like his music is a lot different now, and a lot of it fans still rock with him. But so like because I find it refreshing to see an artist, because you're not 45, 50 years old shooting up the block. Like if you were, you'd be in jail, right? So I find it refreshing when artists have gone in a different direction, and it still sounds pleasing to the ear as far as putting out.
But if you are a mature fan fan, if you will, or supporter of the artist, yes. You know what I'm saying? People, yo, B, if you change your hairstyle, people got a problem. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? I remember they gave Seal a problem when he went from locks and cut all his shit off, and the nigga improved his style of singing, you know, upgrading from a clubhouse type sound to now being like the Black Sting. And they were concerned, like, why you change your look and why is it this? Why you question this man's journey? If you're a fan of his personality and not just what comes off his lungs and his lips and shit, you know what I'm saying? Respect the person.
Well, I can
So
go ahead. No, go
I was
ahead.
just saying, artists, people, fan base don't have faith in the artists like that. They don't get down with the turns and the weaves and the different shit. You know, they want you one way, and that's very immature. I think the fan base has to improve in order for hip hop to improve, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these people, like you said, your man said, I want to put my kid through college. So what does that mean? You got to holler about killing and all kind of shit. You don't want to have enough nuts to say, yo, man, I'm not on that. And I'm still nice. And I'm still good. I had no choice but to do that, bro. I wasn't going to come out with no simple sounding shit, man. I said, yo, I'm going to let these niggas know by how I throw these bars that I'll lay it out. And at the end of the day, what's real wins. You can take the dictionary and whip it up any kind of way you want. But if you're not really saying shit that somebody can take for another 10, 20 years and apply it to life, you've lost the battle already, bro. Right. It's a waste of time. And artists don't see it like that.
I'm gonna share with you the immature fans' perspective, because so this is from the fans' perspective. Who we said, this guy said 70% dick riding. So check, yo, the fan, and you can we always use sports analogies. The fan, it was even a movie. The fan feels like the radical fan feels like they own the artist, and that the artist is, or the athlete, or the singer, or whatever, actress, whatever it is, that they got some kind of ownership. I've seen the wildest shit, man, and it's like, because I'm fucking with you, like, you're supposed to be like this. Your music's always supposed to be like this. How dare you venture out and try something different? Like, so so I'm just gonna just putting that out there, because a lot of people on everybody.
But that's through capitalism, bro. That's them saying, I took something off my work check.
Yeah,
to pay for
I'm not
a ticket.
That's just what's going. That's what's going on.
That's what the fuck is going on, bro. I mean,
really. Mentality right there of like, we own this. Is your brother Jay? I demand 10 albums of like let's say you wanted to switch and make like a jazz album, just for for you. Yeah. How dare you go? What's brother Jay? I thought he was on his that type of shit.
I go through that shit all the time. A person would tell me, yo, man, I like you on the old school breaks rather than some of the stuff that you're exploring now, whatever. And I'm like, bro, you stuck in the 90s, and I have to continue to reinvent myself to adjust with the times. How would you tell me to go back to a rhythm that people don't even dance to? When you go to a club, you don't even hear feel-good music anymore. So why would you trap me in that box for the 5 motherfuckers in the world that feel like you to make me do a thing? Because you spent $10.99 and bought some vinyl 30 years ago, you feel to tell me what the fuck I should be rhyming or whatever on, bro? It's crazy. Yeah, it's partial insanity, bro. No, you know what I'm saying? But as you give the people what they want, you evolve and improve. You don't go backwards in time and say, yo, I know how to do that better. Let's go back to that shit. That shit has no replay value. Don't even try to do that. Y'all, they just gave Beyonce a hard time doing Donna Summer and all kind of shit. And if it hadn't been for the gay community, that record wouldn't have did shit. You know what I'm saying? Because niggas don't even dance like that anymore. What dude is dancing to that shit, bro? I don't know nothing. That's all female and gay community dancing to Beyonce shit. They claim her. Yeah. But that's only people that will go back and dig into those catalogs that nobody gives about, and then they'll claim that. All right? So if hip hop is so dope, It's time for these producers to take some of those grooves from our era, improve them, and get with artists who know how to rock that shit. Don't bring me somebody from back then who can't rock that shit. And now, when they say, yo, them veteran niggas, they stupid, man. It's different the way they drop bars on that shit. You know, when that respect is there, then the game will even out. But when you got cats coming out, rhyming all beat and going through all of these convulsions with songs they haven't sang in 100 fucking years, I'm like, yo, man, drop something new and blow their wig back. What's wrong with that? Just because Apple Pie America doesn't know, you an MC, period. You supposed to always do the freshest shit on your goddamn thing. You keep going back in time. And every time I see one of these new artists, they singing a new joint at an award shit or whatever. They introducing a new record to break. And the veterans don't even take advantage of that time. I would have loved to have heard Run DMC drop some new shit and just fuck everybody up. I would love to hear LL drop some new shit, fuck battling the world and rapping all kind of ways. Drop some new shit. And he's capable, dog. But these cats keep whining us back. And you making it like us going back to listen to an old Temptations record or some shit. Nigga, come on, man. Keep getting fresh. Keep getting stupid, man. What the fuck is the problem? If you're a musician and you really love it, that's a problem in the game, my lord.
Absolutely.
That's a problem in the game.
And it's a problem for me as a fan. And we've talked about it. As far as like just artists riding that shit out. Like, man, like I don't want it. Some of these songs, my favorite songs, I'm like, I can't even put them on now because it's like, come on, new shit, especially when you're capable of, and I've always said this, right? MCing isn't football where you tear ACLs or your body, you get degenerative arthritis in your knees.
Correct.
You should be getting better because you have more life experiences, you have more wisdom, you probably got some kids now, some like whatever, you've been through some shit. So you're not just trying to get the girl, class, all these fun songs or whatever. So your whole mental shit, you should be, to me, 50-year-old Brother Jay should be much better than 20-year-old Brother Jay. Even if that shit was like fire back, you should be way more, you should be better now. You
fucking right, bro. And every time I come out with giving something just to my audience base, I think that all the time. I said, I got to give you something better than the last time that I came. And that's just respecting people that support you. Some artists are like, yo, you on my dick. I can do no wrong. I'm going to keep singing the same shit to you because that's all you fuck with. And I think that's a disrespect, man. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of cats that still have the vigor of production in their system that should be doing a lot more, man. You know, I'm not going to call names out, but I just think they should be doing a lot more. I think it would just balance. You wouldn't have cats calling you rusty and all kind of shit in the new generation, these new generation media, because that's all they get from you. Every time they go to your function, you singing the same shit. You ain't got nothing new to wow the crowd.
But don't they seem, okay, so let me ask you a question, though. Like, isn't it almost seems like it's easy for cats, and we're going in a different direction, but this is where we're going. Like, it almost seems like it's easier for MCs, legendary MCs, to coast with those joints than to come out with something that maybe people might, I mean, I'm just saying, is it an ego thing? Well, then they might not fuck with it as much. Like, so better to rest on these 80s, 90s laurels than to put something out. I mean, I don't know. I'm just thinking like because then also from our point of view, are people trying to from an artistic standpoint, what if cats just ain't feeling it no more?
Well, and exactly, and I say avoid that, because when you do new material, say you got 15 minutes, you know what I'm saying? Most of these like summer jams and things that have, you know, old school review or whatever, they give you about 15, 20 minutes to good 3-4 records if you're smart, okay? When you go into those arenas, you say, yo, I'm going to do 2 joints that let you know who I am, so everybody's singing along, and then I'm going to give you something new so you follow my popcorn trail to wherever I am when I leave this bitch, all right? Now, that's you thinking as an artist. Now, if you just come in like, yo, I don't really fuck with the hip-hop shit, y'all just want to hear a couple of joints that I did, I'm gonna pick 3 classics and I'll rhyme to a little Mob Deep beat or some shit and just let y'all know I got it and leave. You know what I'm saying? That becomes the attitude. You know what I'm saying? But you don't get no work from that. Okay? You come sing them old songs and shit, and people just doing whatever case may be. You ain't gonna get no work from that, man. You if you really show that you know how to control it from every angle, my nigga, you get work up the ass. And I've had to do this for myself. You know what I'm saying? When I came out to the West, dog, I wasn't going up into a place like Project Blowed and putting on Grand Verbalize or some shit. I'm rhyming to fucking to Jay Dilla. I'm rhyming to Madlib. I'm rhyming to different shit and busting bars that you haven't heard on a commercial because I'm an artist for real. And if these cats come up from those backgrounds, I'm seeing all these stories. You was starving and you had to find a way out and shit, nigga. Has your attitude changed now that you eating fat, nigga? You don't have the hunger anymore? What the fuck is that? You let these court jesters rule the game? That's ridiculous. You know, I'm even embarrassed. It's like, yo, I can't even find the right platform to drop my shit, bro.
Facts.
And there's several times that I was going to release. Even when I did the pay-per-view, I was like, maybe I'll just give a little taste, a little EP or some shit like that. And I said, you know what? I said, let me find where my audience is first, because this game is so oversaturated, man. You think you throwing it out there to hit 10, 20,000 people, and you may just hit 100, 200 people. You know what I'm saying? On an off algorithm or some stupid shit going on with this internet. Right. You know what I'm saying? And it's a weird place. Yeah. So, you know, I said until I can, you know, form a headquarters around. That's the good thing about labels. And I think that's what's missing, because now cats will just tell you, well, go to DistroKid or go to such and such. Why do I want to go to these robots? Somebody in their drawers controlling where people listen to. I want to go to a brick and mortar spot that people are working. There's an art department. There's professionalism happening around the craft. You know what I'm saying? And if you know, that's like a nigga who played good ball. I don't want to play in the playground all the time. You know what I'm saying? I might go to the Drew League and make an appearance, but if I'm a Laker, I'm a Laker, nigga. I want to have a uniform on. I'm a professional, nigga. You put one of them professional jerseys on me, nigga, and I want press and all the shit that's right. You know, that's the era I grew up in, and that's not being spoiled. I've earned those dues, okay? And that's what these cats have to realize, these veterans have to realize, that, and it goes back to the leadership that I'm talking about. Because now if these cats are number one in their market, those audiences would never leave. They would never listen to Kodak Black and all of this other shit. They're like, damn, if my niggas ain't rhyming, well, what's new? What's making shit pop? That's what hip hop is about, being hip. So if an element is missing, you still want your ear to the street, so you got to listen to what the fuck is going on if you really love the game itself. So when we don't create new shit, we force the cats that will fuck with us to this dumb shit, bro. It's just automatic. Yep. No leadership can come from that dry ass place that we just spoke about, bro. That's a dry place. No leadership can grow from that. Word.
All day. No, that's facts. So you said we've established, you know, basically there is none. All right. So then, hypothetical, completely fictional situation. Brother Jay is charged to. They come to you. All hell's broken loose. They come to you and say, "Okay, you organize this shit. What's the structure?" It's, you know, a lot of things that we've talked about. You organize this shit. What's the game plan? You're the new coach, man, and general manager. You got to construct the team. And what goes into this thing for you? If you have the opportunity and people are willing, you know, because we don't really accept shit until there's like tragedy, right? So like, you know, so that's when that's things arise out of tragedy. So if all shit's fucked up, we come to you. What are you setting up?
I'm going to set up hubs and causes. All right, it's similar to what Minister Farrakhan said at the Million Man March, where he's telling people, organize the medical, organize the military, organize, divide the people where they work best. So with hip hop, you would have to divert the energy into, what do you fuck with best? I can't tell you work with kids and you're an asshole. You feel what I'm saying? You would have to have natural skills. So like how a Badu is, she is a doula.
Okay.
All right. So if it was something to where we're talking to the parents in hip hop generation, then I would create a hub for her to say, all people who can teach about children, natural medicine, raising and rearing, all of that kind of shit. And then you would find other artists that are mothers, and then they would be creative in that realm. Now, when you buy Badu's music, we say you're contributing to the doula circle when you purchase Erykah Badu's album. So you're doing a 2-in-1. So now you don't own Badu anymore. Like how we said, like, oh, your sound is changing or whatever the fuck. No, you gave her a donation in exchange for music. The reciprocity is in that. And then you donated to a cause at the same fucking time. And then we run the gambit. Who's to stop the violence niggas? Who's the best motherfuckers to talk this kind of shit? And they live that lifestyle. So if I took someone like Cam and KRS-One and Paris, brothers who know what the streets are, know what the level is. Shit, KRS was homeless at one time. So I know what it's like to be, like, damn, I need to rob a nigga or go in that store and just grab everything that I want. That level, so you can teach how to avoid the violence and the thievery and so on because you've been through it. You know what I'm saying? So you would pick brothers in that hub. So on and so on throughout the whole situation. You find the weak points in hip hop. All right? We were the #1 baby boom motherfuckers in the world. What is hip hop? Go get drunk, find a shorty, get busy. Come on. Everything is dick and pussy and shit. What the fuck? So there's babies coming from that. So, children, violence, materialism, addiction to drugs, so many different things can be created. That would be my answer.
All right, so
as far as making the causes the leaders and not an individual. It wouldn't be me saying I'm the leader of these hubs. It would be, look, you trusted me. I'm taking the bag and the trust, and now I'm putting these things up. So now when you come to the table and you say, hey, what do I write about? You have to write about something that doesn't disturb the peace of these hubs. So you can't be bang, bang, shoot them up. I'm just doing this to get my kid through college and shit, so I'm going to kill a couple of people on wax and then give some money to Badu. No, that's not how it's going to work. You're going to do music that everybody in those hubs and everybody who donates to those hubs can relate to in a peace faction. And you have to find the thin line of a banger and keep it that peace.
So that's an interesting.
Don't tell me it's not possible, because we wouldn't be talking right now if I was just a regular
actually,
Tom, Dick, and Harry.
That's the most doable thing that I've heard, because, like, and this is why I like your perspective, like coming from it, like from a standard leader, trickle down, like one person or one group. It's like, because one question I had was, how could you agree on who would be the leader? And that would be always a source of tension right there. But with this, if these silos, these individual hubs or silos are operating with integrity, right? They have the right, if you go back to the sports analogy, some of these pro teams that are always in the playoffs every year, just every year, like always, because they draft right, they got the right GM, right strength coach, right motherfucking passing coordinator. Everybody is on the fucking game plan, right?
Right.
So let's say if you got those hubs operating like humming like that, then it's kind of taking care of itself.
Correct. There's no room,
room
for ego. There's no room for competition. You're not going to go in there and say, I'm the chief doula. I deliver the most kids. It don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm the best community leader. I've saved 20 lives in the hood. You're not talking like that, dog. With a system like that. Just straight up and down. This is pure jewels. You know what I'm saying? This is what I wanted, and I still strive for as far as creating those hubs. You know what I'm saying? This is an old elder technique. This is nothing new. I'm not making a new wheel. It's still round. It just got a different rim on it. You know what I'm saying? Cats be trying to make a octagon wheel and shit, and and the square one, and trying to justify it, my nigga. No, keep it round, change the rim, and get something that's ready for war to roll on top of those wheels, and we'll be all right. That's war mentality. That forming hubs, you can't crush all 4 hubs at one time. You all right? You make yourself evasive to the enemy when you build like that.
Right.
You understand me?
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, fuck y'all. This is cancel culture on, what you gonna cancel culture on people delivering babies? You gonna cancel culture on stop the violence? You gonna cancel culture of get off addiction? You gonna cancel culture on, embrace nature over technology and machinery? Right. What the fuck what are you talking about?
Right.
It would be impenetrable. Look, man, if people gather millions of dollars to free the whales and save the penguins to take straws out their nose on the beach and all kind of crazy shit, bro, it's worth saving lives in the neighborhoods. All these miseducated kids and so on, getting them the education, build the hubs. It takes nothing, bro. That shit that I'm talking about takes nothing. It takes nothing but a building for people to meet. The community centers are supposed to be that. You can go to community center and just request time and be like, look, the community wants Tuesdays and Thursdays. What are you going to tell us? Well, we got a volleyball game going on. We can't do that. Get the fuck out of here. It's the same thing we spoke about with community radio. They do what the people say. As long as you got enough signatures and donations, shit will shift.
Right. No,
it's the same science.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good point, man, because those things, like you said, because I'm just looking at it like, I always look at how can things be applied practically. So yeah, you have a building. Hey, this is a hip hop gathering. Okay, we're trying to, whatever. Everyone's getting in the camps, and you're figuring out, yeah, like even back in the day, who was a good farmer, right? Who was a good hunter? Who was good at building? You had the crafts, right? The blacksmith was nice making the weapons, but he couldn't fight. Okay, so you make the ill ass weapons, and we go bust these niggas' asses, like, so totally different. So it's the same thing right there, man. And as far as like when you move as a unit, but we go back to the thing we always go to, and you said it in the last show, we don't trust each other.
We don't, brother.
We said, quoting you, we have not mastered trust.
Correct. And you cannot have leadership without trust, to the very point of this episode. Who are you going to say the leader is? Everybody got an opinion of who should be, instead of a trust in the one with the ability, the one who's going to say there is no leader. All of us are leaders, and this is your responsibility, and this is your responsibility. They don't have trust enough to put that energy toward one that will do that. That's the whole purpose of the one. The one is just the one who divides what the creator brings. It's not leadership in that kind of way. The difference between the creator and a Satan or satanic mind state. All right. The satanic mind state is, I'm the leader, y'all fall up under the protocol, and that's what it is. The creator is all of it as one. All right? Because if you think about nature, the water is not better than the earth. The air is not better than the water, so on and so on. So all the elements flow in a harmony. It's not like I am King Earth and everything flows through me. It's not built like that. So the system we just spoke on is nature. Okay? These are weak points in hip hop. These are places where we can educate and now develop artists. Because if you're in an environment like that, dog, you're not going to write that bullshit. You have to be a real idiot to be in a circle of hubs that are healing people, and you're the spokesperson for all of that. You would be stupid to rhyme like an asshole from that point, bro.
Right. Right.
Come on, bro.
I think one important point that you pointed out, right, is like, so it's also has to, we have to be honest with ourselves about what our capacity is, right? Like you said, damn, might not be dope with the pen, but damn, really good with the photography. So the layout and art and stuff like that. So that takes, and again, that takes buying in, right? It takes a lot of buying in with oneself and being honest. Like, yeah, I'm the blacksmith, or okay, back to sports. I'm the 3-point specialist,
Right.
or I'm the kicker, whatever
Right.
it is. But when it's time to go, and everybody's on point with their role. The special, this dude has made mad money off of just being on special teams in football, right? So just use these analogies. So peace. So I think that's really important, man, that you still have to look at what am I really, be honest, what am I capable of, what am I not capable of, and then like got to be that buy-in though. Like
it all goes back to reprogramming the self. All right, letting go of all of this past hate of what hip hop has become and all these other things, and finding the causes that lead this hip hop generation into a next phase, bro. It's not based on one. It's not going to be Jay-Z or Kanye saying this is the way. It ain't based on that. All right.
So I think of thinking.
It's based on a cause, dog. You know what I'm saying? Look, even with Kanye, he made his cause into a churchianity type of situation, and he found a focus. Otherwise, you guessing what kind of style he's coming out with, like it's a new album or whatever. But now he's saying, look, this is the cause. Love is the cause. Every time I speak to y'all, it's in the realm of love. So it's not a weighing on him to be a leader. He put the cause out. If you fuck with love, come here. Even if you hate me, come for the love. And that overrode the bullshit, and he kept his followers. Okay? Right. He overrode the cancel cultures and all this shit. And I'm telling you, it's an example of the causes that have to exist. You got to make a cause that makes sense. Even though that's wide range, he connected it to like a gospel theme.
Right.
Okay? So now for an artist, you got to say, well, damn, what is your cause? If you were in one of these hubs, or if you were speaking to behalf of the community for real, what non-threatening music would you create that still gives them, I want to turn this up in my car. I want to bang this out. Every time I hear this at the spot, it makes me want to dance. You got to combine the real and that into one place. And if you're successful, it will define you as an exceptional artist, bro. Period. Otherwise, you're just a flash in the fucking pan. And otherwise, we wouldn't be talking right now. You know what I'm saying? Because I wouldn't be worth the conversation. I've been the flash in the pan, like, oh, you had a hot album in the 90s and you did whatever. No, man, 30 years of movement around the globe, dog. Projects, tours, whatever it is, I made my history make sense. So if I put a cause out now, I said Culture United, let's start to bring the cultures together. That's my current mission. Because I know nice niggas who are Native American. I know nice niggas who are, Canadian and all kind of different shit. And they don't rhyme like what the fuck I'm hearing. And the reason that my wing is not on to something, a brand that would push that platform is because all of that shit that they've built for the past couple of years would be destroyed, bro. It would be a joke. It would be a joke. Some of the most creative people in the world. Suppose I had like 2 or 3 Lauryn Hills in my camp. Suppose I had like 2 Royce the 5'9s and shit, and a Mos Def or 2, and a Saul Williams or some shit. What artists are you gonna bring singing some fucking fluffy smack my ass shit that's gonna compete with the lyrics that I can pull out of that kind of a camp, bro? There's no competition. So it's gonna be a hard road. But like I said, when these people see what we have, they're gonna see the hubs. These artists can't come to me and just say, yo, I got a commercial brand, I got my own weed or some shit, and I'm ready to go. And they sponsor me. I'm like, yo, what's your cause? What do you stand for? Where can I put you in front of the mic and you talking about more than just your release date? You talking about something that's really true and living, that when I buy your album, I know that money is going to that cause, and you about it for real, for real. You know, people be free homie or some shit, and they really just putting the money in their pocket trying to see how many people would throw donations and shit, and they go pay their rent and bullshit, and they ain't really getting no money to the person we trying to free. Okay? This is how these artists do. You know what I'm saying? This is how fans do. Now that the music is more available for you to go ahead and just be a star, but the push of a button on your watch or some shit, you can just create whatever the fuck. So movements look like a con and a joke. But when you got multiple people and agreeable energy, bro, and you're really doing what you say, that's a whole different basket.
Key word, key phrase, agreeable energy.
Correct. My Lord.
Boldface, caps, italicized, whatever the fuck, key word. And that's, you know, so you say we can't have leadership without trust, can't have leadership. I mean, that it starts right there. Like, being honest, man. Like, these hubs can't be established if people aren't real about their like, yeah, where do you fit, right? Like, you know, this, because then you just move, like, you move as a unit. And that's the thing. People, when you move as a unit, when everybody from top to bottom in your organization is on, I just keep San Antonio Spurs, like they Popovich is that dude. Like, that's what it is. And
look what it does, bro. It cuts the fat off the meat immediately, because you'll find out that everybody's not chosen to do this thing. Okay? That's the other shit. You know, in my camps, bro,
quick.
Yeah, bro. When I develop artists, they understand real quick if they're meant to do this or not. Because you can't ride that mediocre shit in this camp. You got to be able to speak to an elder and a young head in one verse, and it don't sound simplistic and just layman term and shit. You be insulting the intelligence of the people that I put you in front of. True organic mentals, my Lord. So it's very hard to exist in the camps of lyricism and production, you know, that I'm putting forward, but. You know, it's about time to set a different bar, dog. Yeah. Come on, man. Niggas are singing nursery rhymes and putting new words on top of the nursery melodies. That's ridiculous. And that's been happening for a very long motherfucking time. That means that you underestimate my intelligence. You know what I'm saying? And if you listen to the music, you can hear it. I hear it. It's so evident. It's like, wow. Wow, you would insult my intelligence so deep. You're here singing Mary Had a Little Lamb with a little twist on it, and then you put in words like syrup and this and that and all kind of shit that niggas on the street will hear this and they'll buy my shit.
People have eaten it up, though.
Come on, dog. I don't think as many people eat that shit up as they say. I think numbers are adjusted, bro. Because I bump into a lot of people that are sick of that shit. Dog, to the core.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I hope you're right, man. I mean,
I really think the numbers are twisted, dog. I really think, because you think about it, where are we getting these numbers and ratings from that say, like, somebody really has 31 million people following you and all you do is just fucking bullshit, eat sandwiches and go in high-priced places and shit. Like, that's so entertaining. It's not even entertaining, dog.
I'm talking less about the numbers and more about just the energy of, like, people that I just see, like kids, teenagers, just people that I just see around, like that are absorbing that shit. Like, I don't know the numbers. I mean, people. I've been on people's pages and you look at their followers. There's a bunch of fucking Indian dudes, yo, because they bought them shits. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But the energy just. It seems like a lot of people, like, if you criticize, for instance, I'll put it this way.
Right.
The fact that I got death threats, and we got to go in a couple minutes. The fact that I got death threats over saying shit about Nicki Minaj,
right?
Like lets me know there's a lot of people on that fucking, shit. She's teaching a class at Berkeley. So
wow.
So a class on hip hop. Nicki Minaj teaching a class at Berkeley.
Yeah, but you think what is it based on? is based on you went from mixtape status to become a $70 million woman. How did you do it? You're being asked to speak because of the recipe, not because of how whack your song is or not.
Right.
Yo. Okay.
Yeah. We got 2 minutes and I don't want to lose this show. Damn. We came out of cryo sleep, my G. I told you. We came out of cryo.
Already 9 and shit. No doubt. So, always a pleasure, good brother. Always a pleasure, man.
Great to everybody joining in. This is episode 25 of Constant Elevation. Brother Jay, myself, Tamal. And we do this every month. First Wednesday of the month, because we just move it around when we can, but first Wednesday of each month. New format a little bit. We're gonna start having some guests.
Yeah.
We're gonna start having some guests. And just stay tuned. We're gonna try to have one for next month. Educators, people in the medical field, just and tie it into what we're talking about. We hope you get something out of it. And you'll take your time to appreciate Brother Jay while he's here sharing. And we love doing this. And you know what I'm saying? It's important for us as well. I think I speak for both of us saying that.
Yes, family. I appreciate your wisdom as well, brother.
No, it's been a dope couple of years, man. We've been on year 2 doing this.
Indeed, man.
I always say, like, consistency is like a hallmark of excellence and like doing something well for a long period of time. So let's get it. Salute to everybody here. And
blessings,
back at you next month.
Much respect. Give my regards to the family, brother.
Same here, fam. Be good.
Peace,
everybody.